Let's go, let's go, let's go. Alright, people wanna hate every day, it's okay.
All right, welcome back, Reckless Success. Tonight we have my beautiful wife, Lesa, on.
Hello.
Everybody loves Lesa. They really do. Everybody I talk to is like, we love Lesa.
That's nice.
Yeah. So, this week we've got some interesting stories, just like normal. Our life's been hectic week by week. But we were just talking, and we were kind of mentioning this time that we had our house painted, so we thought that would be a good story.
Yeah.
Because it goes on.
It's funny how people follow you in life, like the same people that you see year after year, or like 10 years later.
This is like a 20-year-long story.
It is a 20-year-long story.
So, when I was 18 or 19 or something, I was working at Hardee's, and there was this girl that worked there, and she had a boyfriend. We'll call him TJ.
Okay.
It's his initials, in case he hears this. So, he's in jail. I'm just a kid, and his girlfriend's there, and she's talking to him on the phone. And me being a kid was
She's
like,
at work talking to him, like at a jail phone call.
Yeah, it was like, she had to press 5 to accept.
Working hard at Hardee's.
And he might have been in county, I don't know. But whatever happened, I ended up getting on the phone, and I've never met this guy, I wasn't messing with his girlfriend, but I'm saying I was like, yeah, I'm gonna bang your old lady. Just I don't know why I was that big of a little shit.
You're a bully.
Don't forget to talk about Carolyn.
Oh yeah.
So anyways, I get on the phone and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take your old lady and this and that, and he's like, yeah, my name's TJ, you remember me? And I'm like, all right, buddy, whatever. So a few years later, I'm coming home from work one day, and it was payday. I'm happy. I'd smoked me a one hit, and I was driving my little Camry car. I had a little baby blue Camry car that matched my eyes. I pull up and sparkle on them. So I go to this gas station in Marion, and I go in, and I come out, and I'm leaving. And I get in my car. I've got my car started, and I'm in park still, but I just started it. And all of a sudden I hear, Jesse. And I look over my shoulder, and there's these two guys walking towards my car. And they got like jailhouse tattoos. They're up to no good. Whatever's going on here. And I look, they're walking towards me. They yell my name. I never saw either one of these guys before. And past them, I could see like a Thunderbird or something car with 3 other dudes looking out the back window, watching like something was about to go down. Oh. And these guys were walking on a mission. I'm like, fuck, what's going on here?
And you don't recognize the guys or anything? You don't know?
I don't recognize him. And he walks up, and he stands next to the car door. I got the window down, and he's like already standing like he's going to punch me, And he's like, my name's TJ. And right when he said his name, I flashed back to that guy that I talked to on the phone. I thought, damn, I never thought I'd see this guy. This is before Facebook even.
Right, how do you even know you were?
Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
So he's ready to hit me, and he tells me who he is, and I'm like, all right. And I'm like, well, step back so I can get out, so we can fight. And instead of stepping back, he stepped towards the front tire. And when he did, I dropped it in drive. But, I opened my door like I was getting out, and I said, step back. And he stepped this way. And as he did, I dropped it in drive, and my little Camry, front tire squealing. And I hit him with the door. And, he went rolling a couple times. And I pulled forward, and I looked back, and he's rolling, and his buddy's chasing behind. And I just got back on the highway.
Peeled out your little Camry?
Yeah, I peeled out my little Camry and headed on home. And it wasn't 10 minutes after I got home, cops showed up.
They did? They called the cops on you?
Yeah, it was all the gas station did. It was like a hit and run in the parking lot. Like, the dude was rolling like a roly-poly across the lot.
What happened? I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, they came, and luckily, the cops watched the video.
And saw they were like coming at you.
And saw that they were coming. And I was like, dude, the dude was about to punch me, He's like telling me to get out he's going to whoop my ass. So I had to think fast,
And hit him with my car.
I knew that if I got out while he's standing over me, he's going to drill me, and I'm not going to be in a position.
Have a chance.
I got another story that goes with this, but let's finish TJ's story. So, they drop it, whatever.
That was it.
That was it. That was in like 2007 probably.
Okay.
Fast forward to what year?
let's see. We were back together and we owned our house, our first house.
17, 16?
Probably 20, yeah.
17.
Yeah, right there. 16, 17.
So about 10 years later, we've got a house and we want to get it painted, but the siding on it wasn't vinyl. It was like
it was the kind you'd paint. I don't know what the heck it was.
It's like wood overlay, like overlapped, but it was like particle board.
Yeah.
It was old.
So it's something you could totally paint. Like, we didn't
Yeah.
want to reside the whole house, but it needed an update. So
Right. So we had some quotes to paint it that were like 7,000 or something, because it had to have like some
That's a lot.
spackling put in and some places
Yeah.
fixed with this vinyl spackling.
I was
And
going to do it.
Lisa was going to do it. I was working out of town.
But then I did the window trim, and I thought that took me like months because I worked
Right.
full time, and I'm
I
like,
remember.
I can't paint the whole house. There's
You're
no
a
way.
worker, you know
I
it.
know.
You do good, baby.
I got to remind you sometimes.
Yeah. I'll pull up from work. She's out there with a whatever paint scraping tool, scraping the post.
Someone's got to do it.
All right.
Anyway.
So 10 years later, we got to have our house painted.
Where did you find that? The guy you were talking about.
just-
Do you remember?
just
Okay.
listen.
Okay. Sorry.
So I'm telling our neighbor Bud about it one night. We had a couple quotes and we had an idea of what it was going to cost. But at this time in our life, we like $3,500 was a lot.
Yeah.
And
We had barely started our own business.
yeah.
So Jesse was working on the Union Hall, but then you're laid off most of the winter, and then I was just working like an office job.
That was like half our savings or something.
I mean,
or like
I
a
don't
third.
know.
It
Yeah.
wasn't half.
But yeah, I mean, it was hard to come up with
It was a lot of money.
$300. It's
Right.
paycheck to paycheck life.
Yeah. So I tell my neighbor Bud, which was a great guy, about it. And that night, or you know who it was? It was the guy that rides the bicycle, wasn't it? Who's the guy
Probably.
what's his name?
I don't remember.
You know
but
who I
He
mean?
collects the cans.
Yes, the
This
can
guy
collector.
rides a bike around town and kind of like talks to everybody, talks everybody's ear off.
Bootlicker.
Bootlicker.
Anyways, so I tell this guy that I'm needing to get my house painted. Small talk. That night, knock on the door. I go answer the door, and the guy showed up to our front door. He had a freaking newspaper. Not TJ.
A guy named
This is a totally different
Joe.
guy. So yeah, TJ I hit with the car last I
Yeah.
seen him 10 years ago. A new guy shows up to the door that I've never met. I just need somebody to paint. And he starts a line of shit. And I think he was saying it was $3,000 to paint the house.
I don't remember the
And the
cost.
material was like $1,500 and he was going to do it for, it was $3,500. And but the other bids were like $7,000
Yeah.
or something, and I knew better. I knew it, but he had a damn newspaper with a article about him painting
About
something
him.
in Heron.
like for the city, the no drip painter.
Yeah.
So it looked pretty legit. Like if the city's hiring you and you've got a whole front page news article about you, you assume they're
Right.
legitimate.
He
right?
had the white pants.
This is
with
a
the
lesson.
paint.
You can't assume that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
He had the white pants with the paint, the different color paint, like all over
Oh,
it.
yeah.
You know, like he'd
Looking
been
like
painting.
a painter.
So he gives me a line of bullshit, how he's going to do this and that, and it's $3,500, and like wow, that's way cheaper, you know. And he's like, but I need half down now. I need half.
And you buy the paint, so you had to go with him and like.
No.
Oh no, you gave him money to go buy it.
Yeah, that's what the
right.
money was for.
Sorry.
The money was for the paint, and he was going to paint it, and then I'd pay him the other half.
Yeah.
So, but I gave him the money, and it was like 4 or 5
But we
weeks.
had picked out the paint we wanted to use. We researched the brand that was for exterior. That's going to be quality paint.
Bear paint.
The
I think.
color, because it was like a weird blue color. The house was. We wanted like a dark gray color.
Right.
And so you gave him like wrote down what we wanted from what store, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll go pick it up."
Yeah. So we give him the money. 4 or 5 weeks go by. Remember, he wasn't showing up.
Yeah. He had
And
those
then I
weird
went out of town to
excuses.
work.
Yeah.
And I'm getting pissed off because now we gave him like $2,000 or something, and he's not answering the phone. He's not coming. He finally shows up, and the first time, remember I walked around the corner and he was on crutches, and I said, "This is the very first day. Is this
Was
the
it?
day I ran him off?
No,
Did he only make
you're
it
getting
one
ahead of
day?"
yourself because he started painting, but the color. I called Jesse and I was like, "The color he's painting on our house." Is like the same color of our house. It is not the paint we picked out, and it's in these weird buckets. It's not in the name brand 5-gallon buckets. It's in these like weird unmarked buckets, and it's literally not the color. Like I was just like, what is going on? Like something's up here.
Right.
That's where it started because you're like, this guy's trying to pull something. Like it was weird. And then I think you address that, and then like the next day he showed up on crutches because first you were like, let it dry. Let's see.
I remember walking around the house, or no, I pulled up to the house. This is what I remember. That's your side because we both have different perspectives. But on this day, I pull up to the house, and he's sitting in our damn patio furniture with crutches, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "Oh, I stepped in a hole in your backyard and I broke my back." And I looked at him like, "You're shitting me." And he's like, "No, I broke it." Do you remember that?
Yeah, because no, you said, dude, no, you didn't.
Yeah,
you said, stand the fuck up.
Yeah, get the hell up. What are you doing?
Like, you didn't do shit at my house. You didn't get hurt at my house.
He tried to show me where the gutters had washed out a hole that he had stepped in it and broke his back, he said.
Liability claim.
And I don't know if you can insert clips, but if you can, insert the Mike Tyson clip where he says, "I broke my back."
Oh, yeah, my back is broken. That's about what that guy was like.
Exactly how it was.
So he's supposed to be painting. He's sitting there in our lawn furniture on crutches.
So he's laid out in lawn crutches, but there's 2 trucks at my house. So I'm like, okay, so I walk around the back side of the house where the other worker's working, and lo and behold, it's TJ, the guy whom I had last seen rolling across the parking lot at the gas station due to my door.
What are the odds of that?
And I'm like, shit. Because, I mean, this dude's like, he was pretty big, you know what I mean? He's all jail tatted up.
Yeah.
And, like, I hit him with my damn car door last time.
And now he's at our home. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, what's up, TJ? But, I mean, I'd hit him again, so whatever. I'm like, hey, what's up, TJ? And he's just like, oh, hey, man, I didn't know it's your place. He's like, what's up? And we just, like, we're old friends. Yeah. So he's like, hey, hold on a second. And I'm like, what? And I'm already pissed off about this guy. So really, I was already wound up. So when I seen TJ, I was probably like, what's up, TJ?
Yeah, looking all crazy.
Yeah, flipping over his ladder. But TJ's like, hey, and that I probably was mad. So TJ's like, hey, he's this guy has got me stealing. He told me that he had him steal the paint from Walmart. And pour it in the buckets. No, remember he was pouring it in a bare bucket. He had the gray bucket.
Yeah.
He had the bucket of the real paint. So we couldn't figure out why the hell it wasn't matching because he was tricking us.
Yeah.
That's where he was getting us. He had actually bought or found or stole a bucket of this paint. But then to refill that one bucket, he was having the kid go steal paint from Walmart.
Yeah.
And the kid was like, hey, he's got me stealing this cheap paint from Walmart. And that vinyl spackling that he said he put in the holes on your house was drywall mud.
Yeah.
He was like, that ain't going to work. And he's like, but what's he owe you on, or what do you owe him on this? And I was like, shit, TJ, I think I owe him about $1,500. And he's like, well, if you buy the material, I'll do it right. Like, dude, straight undershot the guy.
Yeah.
But I'm glad because the guy's a big piece of shit.
Off.
I feel like TJ isn't a bad person, and I would hire him to do more work.
Yeah, I think when you first met TJ, you were probably both at bad parts of your life, and that just kind of shows people can change and grow up.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think TJ at that point was probably, I don't know where he was in life on his path, but I don't think he's like just a garbage human being. You know, I think he has a conscience and was like.
But the other guy is a garbage human being.
Yeah.
Or he was.
The original painter.
Yeah, so the original painter. So I got this kid. I'm behind my house, and I'm getting all this shit thrown on me. I'm already mad at this dude that's saying his back's broke, and I'm thinking about shit.
Ooh, wait, and before you came home, I had realized
the keys,
our
remember?
lock.
Yes.
I noticed on our back door.
I forgot about that.
The lock, I always lock our doors, and I noticed when I went to unlock the deadbolt that the deadbolt was like shifted to the side and my key was going in funny. And I was like, Jesse, I hate accusing people, so I'm always like really afraid to say something to Jesse.
Break into our damn
but I was
house.
like, I feel like this guy messed with our lock because the lock is like crooked into the side, and I lock it every day. I know what it looks like. Something weird is happening here. I don't think they got it in, but I think that guy definitely tried.
Right.
So you had that in your head too, like this guy's trying to break in my house. Now he's on crutches trying to say he fell.
Right.
Now I find out he's using, trying to do a crap job.
Right.
Anyway.
And mind you, I've only been home from prison like a year or two.
Yeah.
So I'm really
you may have still been on probation.
I'm really not trying to get in trouble here.
Yeah.
But I'm losing my fucking cool. So TJ's back here hustling with me, and he's like, you buy the paint, and I'll paint the thing for what you owe him. I'm like, all right. So I go back around, And I'm really wanting to just beat this guy's ass. I know TJ's kind of on my side now because he's wanting some work, but I don't. I'm like, okay, I'm on probation, and I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble, so I don't want to go to jail. So I'm like, I'm going to do the right thing here. I go to the Carterville police station.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that.
I did that. And I go in and I say, listen, guys, here's the situation I got going on. This guy's at my house. He's ripping me off. I'm about to beat his ass, so I want you to go over there and remove him from the property. Because if I say one word to him, or if he says one word to me, I'm going to punch him.
Yeah.
So the cop's like, there ain't nothing we can do. And I was like, I'm just telling you, when I go home, I'm going to go kick this guy's ass. And he's like, do what you got to do, I guess. So as I'm going home, I saw our buddy WB.
Yeah, that's right. Down the road.
And I picked him up. I was like, get in the truck. So we
and
pull
this
up.
is the most like non-fighting, nice,
never
peaceful,
been in a fight in his life.
But because he's like a professional, peaceful.
He's OG though. He hopped in the truck.
Yeah, he has no enemies, I don't think. Like he has no reason to fight because everyone loves him.
Yeah, like I was like, hey, WB, get in the truck. He hopped in the truck. I was like,
that's true. He came. He was gonna ride with you.
I was like, hold on, WB. He's like, what are we doing?
On the drive, you probably told him we're gonna go fight somebody.
I did, and it was like one block. Remember, he lived at the end of the block, so he didn't have much time to intake what was happening. Mm-hmm. So I pull back up. Now I got my buddy with me. I ain't worried if TJ jumps in. And I just told the guy, I didn't beat him up, but I tell him, I'm like, get your shit, get the fuck off my property. And he's, I'm like, fucking go. So their trucks are parked like bumper to bumper, like that far apart. Mm-hmm. I thought that whenever I got there, I'm like, why are they parked so close? So as the guy's leaving, don't make me leave, I'll fix it, I'll do it all right. And I'm like, fucking go, I'm all mad. And the cop's coming down the road
to check on things.
And the cop's like, or the guy's like, don't make me leave, I don't have my license. And I was like, buddy, I don't give a fuck, I'm about to beat your ass if you don't get out of here. So the dude gets in his truck, cop just passes. He's like, the cop's not stopping. I'm out here in the yard screaming at these two guys. Cop just cruises on by. Who was it? It was Hightower, I think.
I don't remember.
It was Hightower. Yeah, and he just cruised on by. And the guys get in their trucks. And the guy, the original painter, he's like, all right, go. And then TJ's truck bumps into his truck and takes off pushing him down the road.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? But the way they were parked, they were on the corner. So like he had to turn his wheel without his truck started, like no power steering, and get it around the turn to where there was a straightaway.
Like
because
to jump start it?
Yeah, he had a clutch. And TJ's truck was pushing him, and then all of a sudden he dumped his clutch and his truck started, and they took off.
That's hilarious.
I'm like, okay. So we think. So then TJ did come back.
He did come back and finish the job the right way.
That's funny, isn't it? Because he told on him. I don't remember if I told the guy he told on him or not, but dude did come back and finished it, and it looked great.
Yeah.
Done a good job.
That's wild.
So, that was the end of TJ, but not the OG painter.
Oh, my God.
So then the OG painter goes, and he sees my sweet, dear grandmother at Walmart, and goes up to her. She was like
loading topsoil or something.
Yes. She's in her 80s.
But she is like a woman of her 40s.
Yeah, she was loading the damn topsoil.
She didn't need help.
Yeah.
But he was definitely preying on her because she's a little bit older. But like she's the coolest.
She was driving her Cadillac 2-seater.
Yeah, she's still a grandmother and needs that respect, but she's cool.
Right. So he walks up to her and he acts like he wants to help her load her topsoil. Just a person walking in a parking lot. And you tell it.
So we didn't find this out till way after the fact, but apparently this OG painter approached Jesse's awesome grandmother, offered to help her load some topsoil, and struck up conversation with her, and had that same stupid news article in his back pocket that he showed us, the newspaper article about the no drip painter and all this great work he did for the city. And somehow, because maybe she mentioned she was working at her house probably with the topsoil.
Right.
So let her know that he was up for hire for some of this work she needs done at her house. She hires this guy because he seemed like a nice guy to come do some work. And we didn't know that, so we wouldn't have known
It was
that it
like
was the
2
same
years
guy.
after our house thing, and then
Yeah, some time had
You know,
passed, but still,
yeah.
we didn't know that she was even having work done. So he comes to her house, and your aunt was in town from Hungary. Jesse's aunt and uncle, I guess, by marriage, and then all of those would be cousins.
yeah.
I always like, there's lots of age gaps in Jesse's family, so sometimes you feel like someone should be like an aunt or an uncle or a niece or a nephew.
Wait, they're my cousins. I feel like they're my nieces.
I do too. That's what I was going to say, your nieces, but they're your cousins. First cousins. So
Yeah.
they're missionaries in Hungary. So, but they come home through the summer and like holidays and like Christmas holidays. So they stay with Jesse's grandmother. And so they were actually in town at the same time, which you'd think. So this guy's pretty bold. So there's, 5 extra people at the
Right.
house at this time. But they, they're in and out. So he came and did a little work, and I think kind of got the feel for like people are leaving and coming and going, and he'd be alone. And I think he was working outside. And your grandma had told, or no, I don't know if she even, did she tell him he could use the bathroom?
Yeah, grandma's real nice. She's old school, so
She
she was
is.
going to town,
Very nice.
and she told him,
She was just running up to our little town, so she's going 5 minutes down the road. She'd probably be back in 30,
Yeah.
total. If you need to use the restroom, this is where it is. And then he went back outside to work. But then I think your aunt came home, and he was in the house,
yeah. So
and she kind of caught him rifling through
he was
stuff.
like coming out of a room where it didn't lead to the bathroom.
Yeah,
And he was like-
stuff looked disheveled,
Yeah. But he was like, "Oh, I'm just here working for grandma."
and I was using the bathroom.
And he hit the door and was gone.
Yeah.
So he burned out, took off running, got like $10,000 cash, a bunch of diamonds and stuff.
Got your grandma's Rolex, I think.
Yeah.
I think guns, like
Yeah.
registered firearms,
Got all kinds of stuff.
like antique. They had,
fucking guy.
yeah, I mean, they had really high quality things in, their home that they had worked really hard for in their life. And so he just ripped off as much as he could and darted.
And everybody in town loves grandma.
Yes, she is like one of those people, like she grew up here. She's a true like staple of the community. Like everyone knows her. She is like puts a smile on your face. People like love to talk to her, love to see her around town. She like has been here since this town was nothing but like a dirt road. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
she's from here. But anyway,
I
so
don't know if I'd say dirt road. It was maybe like wool and chip.
she said that the road that your grandparents lived on was
It
a dirt
was.
road.
It was.
And now it's like a really busy road.
Yeah, busiest road in town.
So yeah, but like literally, where their house is, she said was a one-way like dirt road when they built their house.
Yeah.
Or when she was growing up, maybe. So
I think that's where she wrecked the airplane. Was like in their yard or something.
yeah. Jesse's grandma flies airplanes. She hunts bear.
She killed a bear at 63.
Yeah, she's the coolest person I've ever met.
Yes.
So
So
what
the
happened
guy.
after that?
Then after that, the guy died.
But
Natural
they found him.
causes.
They found him,
Yeah, he got arrested.
and they
He
found
went to
some
jail.
of her stuff. They got
Got
some
half the
stuff
stuff
back,
back.
but not all of it.
Yeah, the cops went hard. When they robbed grandma, they went pretty hard.
and he took so much.
They got him at a hotel in Marion
Yeah.
that night.
But then shortly after, did he OD on drugs? He died. He got arrested and got let out, of course. and then somehow,
He died.
mysteriously,
No, he died of like cancer. I guess karma got him.
something, I think, say karma got him.
Yep, oh karma.
But luckily Jesse's grandma has a very big dog and a full alarm system, and I feel like we're all around more. So
Yeah. So, fuck the OG painter.
yeah, but that was crazy.
That was crazy.
That was
He
a
ripped us
bizarre-
off
a
and ripped
bizarre
off Grant.
chain
But
of
he wasn't
events.
just ripping us off.
It was like tons of people.
It was
Like, that was
tons of
his
people.
career.
Yeah.
Was
Like on
robbing everybody.
Facebook right there at the end.
People were posting looking for
Because
him.
we started seeing him again, remember? Because we didn't.
Like around
he ripped
town.
us off, and then we started seeing posts on Facebook about how he ripped so and so off, or
Yeah.
crazy.
Crazy.
One more crazy story though to relate to TJ at the window whenever I hit him with the door.
Mm-hmm.
One time I'm sick as fuck. I got the flu. I'm down. 2 weeks or whatever. Like one of them ones where you're on the
Dang.
couch. Just I lost like 20 pounds. I go to the hospital, or not the hospital, the doctor, get my meds or whatever. And I go to Walmart to get them filled. I worked at a boat factory, Crown
Mm-hmm.
Line. I lived in Harry in a little house. I got off my aunt. You ain't got to cut all those coughs. Some people like them.
It's a lot. Trust me, I gotta cut him.
So I go to Walmart. I weigh like 20 or 30 pounds less than my normal weight, probably 20. I'd been sick for a minute. And I'm standing there in my medicine. I'm ready to pay. And some guy just walks by. Bam. shoulder checks the hell out of me. Backstory. This guy, this is when I'm clean. I'm like good and clean when he shoulder checks me. But back in my dope days, this guy had a camper, and I went and I bought it off of him for 10 grams, basically.
Oh.
When I was there, I left 10 grams in a pill bottle, and the guy's known for stealing shit. Well, I just gave him 10, and now my personal 10 that I had in my pocket, I got to the next town over, and I realized I didn't have it.
Oh, man.
I'm like, and I remembered right where I said it. Like, fuck, I flip around, I go right back. It's not there.
Oh.
The guy's like, nope. Well, I just gave him 10, so it's hard for me to be like, you ain't got none.
Oh,
because I know he's got some because I just bought this camper. The guy that I'm talking about here has tattoos in the back of his head. Whatever. The long story short, he burnt the camper. I come to get the fucking camper. I gave him the money for the camper. We get in this big fight because I knew he stole my shit. And now he's holding my camper because the dude was crazy as hell. He's like a biker dude.
Oh, my God.
And he's holding my shit. No, so I bought the camper off of him. And it was a fifth wheel, and I was too stupid to even know.
Oh.
The guy's like, I got this sweet camper. I looked at it. I'm like, sweet.
And you're in like your S10?
Yeah, I'm in my little S10. Well, I didn't think about having to move the son of a bitch, and it was a big fifth wheel.
God.
Well, I couldn't find nobody with the fifth wheel hookup.
Not a lot of fifth wheel drivers in the drug game.
No. So then he's like holding it ransom, and I do find somebody with the truck that'll move it. And he won't let us move it. Said it had been too long.
What?
So, yeah, no, it was my shit anyways. I had the title. The next day I went by, and it was just the metal frame. There was no camper at all. It was just a big gooseneck metal frame. And now that I think back, I think I went and I took the frame. I put tires on it and took it because I think he got busted or something.
Oh, my God.
I think he got busted. They arrested him. I took tires, went and got the frame, and then sold it. So, as a... years before this.
So this is the guy that has now shoulder checked you at Walmart.
So now I don't even remember what this fucking guy was like 7-8 years ago, right? I forgot all about this guy. I'm sick as fuck. I don't feel good. Some guy just shoulder checks me out. And he says, as he shoulder checks me, I heard him say, right place, right time, motherfucker. And I'm looking at him and I'm
Walmart.
like, I'm looking at this guy because he kept walking. And I'm thinking, I'm sick as fuck. I'm thinking, who is that? I had no clue who it was. I just fucked up. I guess I pissed off old Carol. I pissed off a bunch of people. Yeah. We got a lot of stories. We can just talk that tonight.
We'll got to talk about old Carolyn or something from Facebook. We'll tell you all later.
So I'm like, damn. So now I'm sick, but I'm kind of getting pissed off because the guy didn't look that big, you know. But I'd lost a little weight, but I'm fucking pretty scrappy. So I'm like,
yeah, you're fucking,
all right. So I check out.
Still got your head.
Yeah. So I
Jesse's signature move when he used to fight a lot was a good headbutt, and I'm not kidding. A signature move, like boom, knock people out.
I saw my buddy Jesse Cox do it one time to this big dude. We got in a fight in Carbondale, and he just headbutted this big dude, and the big dude just flew back. He was your buddy from Hardee's. What was his name?
I don't remember any buddies from Hardee's.
What was his name? He was from Carbondale. He's super cool, like Sperry. He was
my
redhead.
Buddy from Hardee's.
We met him through you. Me and Jesse.
I'm drawing a serious blank right now. I worked at Hardee's when I was 16, but I don't remember having any friends there. And there was a kid there that you partied with a little bit, or you knew him from Carbondale, and his name was, he had like red hair, kind of looked like Carrot Top, because we got in a fight, we were calling him Carrot Top. I have no recollection of this at all. I don't think I ever partied with people from Hardee's. Are you sure he was from Hardee's?
But yeah, I saw my buddy headbutt this dude.
So we're going to have, me and Jesse will figure this out later.
Flew him across the room, and then after that, I was like, damn, I want to try that. And they work good. I hit one dude right here in the cheek one time with a headbutt, and it sliced it open. Like,
oh my God.
His shit opened up
from
a headbutt.
Even though you were sick, you still had your head.
So I had my head. So I go outside Walmart, and I'm like looking around. I don't see the fucking guy. I'm like, all right. So I get in my car because I'm sick anyways. I'm headed home. And I pass, and I see him at a gas station.
So you went hunting down this guy?
No, I was headed home.
Oh.
I passed a gas station. Okay. And there he was. So fucking, I'm gonna whip in there. Like, here's.
That's what I'm saying. Why wouldn't you just keep going home?
Cause he's looking for the right place. I got the right place and the time, motherfucker. So here we are.
Reckless behavior.
Yeah, reckless behavior. I didn't care how sick I was. So I whip in there. I get out. I remember who he is now. I didn't know who he was. I didn't even know what was going on there. And now I'm like, okay, this is that motherfucker. So I see him. I'm like, all right. I jump out the car. I shove him. Let's go. And we're gonna go around back. That's what it was. We're gonna go around back to the gas station. He's like, hold on, I gotta pay for my gas. I'm like, all right, go pay for the fucking gas and let's go around back. Maybe I didn't shove him. Maybe I jumped out and was like, what's up? And he's like, hold on, let me pay for my gas. We'll go around back. No, I shoved him because he comes back out. He says, she's calling the cops because you shoved me. He said, let's go down the road. And I was like, bet, let's go.
This is crazy.
Yeah, so he's in a truck. This dude's a little bit shorter than me, but do not underestimate the short guys. I cannot say it enough. I have seen short dudes whoop some ass.
Yeah?
Yes. Big dudes can whoop ass too, but short dudes, you get the right short dude, they're fucking strong. So anyways,
Quick.
This guy pulls out, and it's the gas station right beside Hardee's. It's closed down. That Z exit was right there.
Yeah.
That little one.
Inherent.
So that's where I see him at. So he pulls out, and he goes 2 blocks, which is the street that I lived on, right? And he stops at the stop sign. I pull up behind him. Just like with anything, fighting, running from cops, you got to be thinking in your head, like, who's got the better position and what's going on here?
Yeah.
So I'm still driving up. And he throws it in park real quick, and he jumps out. So he's already got the jump on me because I'm still in gear driving.
Yeah.
You want to be the one out first, you know what I mean? So you're on your feet and ready. And when he jumps out, this motherfucker's got a hammer. And
no.
I'm like, damn. So I ain't going to try to stop. And I'm about to throw it in park and get out and fight. But he jumps out of his truck coming with a fucking
That's
hammer.
Scary, dude.
I'm like, fuck, so now I'm going to use my car because if he's got a hammer, I got a car. So I'm like,
stop.
And he jumps out of the way.
You're just running over everybody.
Yeah, fuck it. So I turn onto, he stopped at a T that was my street, but my house was like 5 blocks down. So I go around him. He jumps out of the way. I go around him. He jumps in his truck. Now I'm ahead of him. I got the better position. So I'm in good spot. So as I'm coming up to my house, I just whip in my yard. I'm ready. I throw it in park. He's in the position coming up now. So I've just swapped positions with him. And now he's pulling up, throwing it in park, and I'm already up in his door, up in his window, because I've done jumped out of my car. This motherfucker's got this hammer, though. And I reach through this dude's fucking window. I punch him. And he latches onto my arm like a monkey.
Oh, my God.
I swear to God, this is how I remember it. I punch him, and as I come back out with my arm, I brought the guy out with my arm. Like, he's
Through the
holding
window?
onto my arm, and I'm like, I grab the truck, and I'm like, pull, and he like comes out the window with my arm.
Oh, my God.
And he's got the fucking hammer. This is the only time in my life I thought, this dude's trying to fucking kill me for real.
Yeah.
He fucking swung that hammer at my head. Like, we're
That's
fighting.
so scary.
And he fucking swings it, and thank God he missed me.
Oh.
And and really it fucked him up. He swung the hammer, but the weight of the hammer kept him, and it gave me time. Bam, bam, I get him on the ground. So he goes down on the ground. We work our way around the back of his truck. I just moved into this fucking house like a month
This is
before.
a random Tuesday. Jesse's
Random
life.
Tuesday. I'm sick. I called in sick to work. I'm out in my driveway. I just moved into the house like a month ago. I look over. There's a fucking old lady that's always on her porch swing. She's just swinging away, watching. The dude's at the back of the truck. He's on his hands and knees, and I've got his back. And I'm holding his head. He's got the hammer in his hand, and he's got one hand like this flat, and he's got the hammer just gripping it, and he's on the ground. And I've got his head, and I'm straddling his back, and I am hitting this fucking guy in the side of the head until my hand hurts.
Oh, my God.
I punched the hell out of the side of his head, and he ain't knocking out or nothing, but I mean, I'm knocking him up. I grab I'm holding his hair, I'm beating it on the bumper.
Jesus.
My neighbor comes out that lived, so where my back door was, my neighbor's front door was like 15 feet away. They were right there. Their houses were close. He comes out. The guy's on the ground. I'm punching him. He's screaming bloody murder. Call 911. Call 911. I'm fucking hitting his head by his hair on his bumper.
So violent.
So I grab the hammer. The problem is he was so worried about the hammer, and I think that's what kept me from knocking him out. And also, I'd lost 20 pounds. Maybe I didn't have the weight.
Yeah, if you'd been sick of
I
any
was
week.
very fatigued. But I tried to grab that hammer and twist it out of his hand, but the whole time he was so worried that I was going to get the hammer I could read his mind. Like, while I'm whooping this guy's
Yeah.
ass, I knew his feeling because I had his back, and he thought I was going to get the hammer and hit him in the head.
kill
Because that
him.
motherfucker just swung it at my head.
Yeah.
Like, he literally probably could have killed me if he would have hit me
That's
with a
so
full
scary.
swing hammer.
It freaks me out thinking about it.
So I'm trying to twist this. I got his back. I've hit him enough times my hands hurt. So I'm like, hold the fucking guy's head. And I'm trying to twist the hammer. And I was just going to take it and throw it out in the yard because I didn't want to let him up with the hammer because he fucking swung it at me.
Ugh.
So this dude's got a death grip. Well, I mean, like, I would twist it. Oh, you doing this shit?
Oh my God.
He's screaming for my neighbor. Call the cops. I tell him, I said, dude, I'm going to let you up and you better get in your fucking truck and leave. He's like, I will. So I hop up off of him. He jumps in his truck and burns out. My neighbor, I got old lady across the street swinging, and I'm talking like 90s old. Like, she's old, white hair.
She probably appreciated the entertainment.
Yeah, she did.
She's been looking at the same old
did.
sidewalk for 20 years, and now she's got a brawl front and center.
So I had weed in my pocket. I had probably a quarter of weed in my pocket. And 15 feet from my back door is my neighbor's front porch step. He's out on his porch watching. We hadn't met yet. And he's like probably, I was, 23 or 4 or something. Mm-hmm. He was probably 34. And I go walk, I mean, I'm gassed. I just got in a fight, so after a fight, you're gassed. And I go sit on his porch step. He's sitting down there beside me. He's a pretty cool looking dude, I said, damn, that motherfucker just tried to hit me with a hammer. He's like, I saw that, bud. And I look up and the cops are turning the block. I got a pocket full of weed, or a quarter of weed anyways. I said, shit. And I reach in my pocket and I pull it out and I go to hand it to this guy. I don't even know him, but he's my fucking neighbor and the cops are here. I'm like, hey, hold this. And he was like, oh, put that back in your pocket. And I was like, oh, okay, fuck. You didn't want to hold it. So I'm like, all right, put it back in my pocket. Cops get there. Neighbor walks up to the cops. Sergeant so-and-so, Chuck something. And I'm like, oh, shit.
He's a cop?
He was a sergeant in damn prison guard or whatever.
No.
Yeah, he was a prison guard. But he was cool.
Man.
Luckily, he was cool.
Well, he saw the fight and knew that guy was trying to kill you, so he probably understood
he was like
why you were...
Sergeant so-and-so at a prison. I'm like, but I
I
didn't know that.
Weed?
Yeah, now I know, or afterwards I knew, but at the time I'm thinking, oh, shit, I just tried to give the weed to the cop.
Yeah.
But no, the guy's like, he told the same story. He's like, yeah, some fucking crazy dude jumped out with a hammer. I just told him, I was like, fucking crazy mess story, bro. I don't know. I was like, it's all right.
So the cops didn't, pursue it?
No, I told him that I didn't know who it was.
Oh.
I said it was just, I gave him a vague description. And
that is so nuts. So I wonder if that guy's still out there.
Oh, he's out there.
It's scary because you have all these enemies I don't even know about.
Dude, he does not want no more. Though I didn't knock him out, I gave him a fucking beating of a lifetime. I was literally holding his hair and beating it on his bumper. And then there's I guarantee he did not want no more. Next time, don't fuck with that hammer. The hammer fucked him up. The weight of the hammer fucked his swing up.
And like we've talked about on other episodes, or you have, you don't want to freaking kill somebody in a fight and go to prison for a long time or forever
about that camper.
over a fight. That's crazy to you don't ever want to kill somebody, but to hit someone in the head, that's nuts. Or what?
These were, and I'm not saying stages of life, you kind of value life more. Now I value life more.
Yeah.
These were homeless people, basically methed out. You burned their fucking camper, you just burnt their house. You know what I mean? Or so
that's an interesting perspective because they have less to lose. So I was gonna say they have nothing to lose, so they don't care if they go to jail or prison. They don't care what are they gonna lose? They don't even have anything. They don't probably have their family. They don't have joy in their life. They're just
me and that guy had another mishap through our tall buddy that we've talked about a couple times. He got arrested down
really?
At my house. He brought him over there one time. Right after the camper burnt situation.
Before this big fight?
Yeah, and tried to confront me and tell me to calm down. Trying to tell me to calm down. And I wasn't having it.
Wasn't working out. Yeah, that's a crazy story.
But, all right, what do you want to talk about now? My coughs?
Yeah.
I think you just leave them in. People might like them.
No, I have to edit out a lot of Jesse's little coughs when he clears his throat on the podcast, and it takes up a lot of my time. So I've been giving him a hard time about it because I don't have a lot of time to spare.
Because we have gotten into the real estate market.
We're trying.
We are podcasters. We own an excavating business. Now what is real estate.
So our latest real estate adventure. But first, I think we need to talk about the update on the guy with buying the boat real quick.
Oh, yeah.
So in the last episode with Jesse and I, we were talking about the guy was getting arrested literally outside of our studio. He almost made it here, 3.5 hour drive to get the jet boat, and he got arrested. So
for that guy, the party was not over.
Yes.
So
he got arrested, truck impounded. He had to wait like 2 days in jail because Illinois doesn't have cash bond, so you can't bail people out of jail. You have to wait. They have to wait to see a judge. Right. Or they just write him a ticket depending on the crime, and they get to just walk, which is so crazy.
Right.
So the guy spent 2 days in jail, but still wanted the boat.
But let's just put this out there. He was coming to buy a jet boat, which he really was buying a jet boat. But in my mind, what I'm thinking the cops are thinking is, oh God, man, you're coming over here.
This is a bad look. So
it's a bad look. Dude's coming with cash, cashier's check.
He had a cashier's check, but there was nothing on the memo line. So he just had a high dollar cashier's check made out to me and Jesse, $5,000 in cash. I think he may have had a firearm and some other illegal things in the truck. So like, I think they were really cool. And Jesse, obviously it's not Jesse's like reputation now, but if the cops knew his history, might be like, wait a second. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So
you're coming to Jesse with all this cash to do what?
It was really weird to buy some jet boat. You don't even have a license. You're in this old truck.
Revoked. I thought he had a sweet truck. It was a Dodge Dually Slammed that was like an 89 or something. But he got pulled over for... What was it?
I don't know.
He might not know this because he was...
It was in the news.
Yeah.
The news article said it was no registration on the truck.
Or fog lights.
The news article didn't say fog lights, so maybe that's what they told him. I don't know.
Okay, no, it was...
The news article said no registration.
No registration.
So
yeah, he watches this podcast, but not our local news. So you've been in the local news.
You were in the local news, bro.
Yeah, and they made sure to use the best mugshot.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one.
You got stuff like Abraham Lincoln... Abe Lincoln fucking around again.
Did you comment on it?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah, there's all kinds of good shit.
That's hilarious. I'm gonna have to go
a Wolverine over here having a little too good of a time in Illinois.
So you're famous in our little
That's
town.
all the comments that were on the news.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I didn't read the comments.
I always go straight to the comments.
I usually
section.
do. I was in a hurry. I just looked at it and sent it to you.
Yeah.
But so what's funny about this, so he did come by the jet boat. He had to have people come help him drive the truck back, but they don't give you cash back when they arrest you with cash, apparently. So he got this debit card called it was like a jail cards, but it said like
release card.
Release pay on it, like from the jail.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get all the cash out of it because you can only take so much out per day. So I was walking around all week with my little jail release card paying for stuff.
Back up. So he calls me and he's like, I'm trying to get money off this card. And I'm like, man, this guy's done got arrested. He's got caught with a bunch of stuff. You know, I don't know if
this is going to work out.
If this is going to work out. He'd already talked me down so low.
Yeah.
I literally lost $17,000 on that jet boat.
Yeah, it's disturbing.
But the only reason I did that was because I feel like I made it up on the next boat. We did get a hell of a deal.
Yes, agreed.
I flipped the 17 I lost on the jet boat into the new boat that I got for 17 cheaper than the new boat.
Than it was worth, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's true.
But so the guy shows up, or no, he calls, says he's trying to get the money off, and he's like, but there's a cop next door. I can't leave yet, you know. And I'm like, but you said your dad's with you and your parents. I'm just like, all right, well, I'll meet you to get the boat. And then I passed the cop sitting at the same spot. So he got pulled over in front of my house. The same cop that pulled him over 3 days ago is sitting in the same spot. It's just one way in, one way out. And I call him and I'm like, hey, that cop's back in that spot. And he's like, oh, you think I should have my dad drive? I'm like, well, yeah, if you got pulled over driving unrevoked and you're in your truck, then yeah. But his dad didn't know how to drive the stick. I think it was a stick shift. His dad couldn't drive it.
Dually.
Yeah.
Who would even invent that? Good Lord.
That's common.
I've had to drive our dually.
That's common. Yeah.
I've had to drive our dually a time or two, and it's not the easiest
Yeah.
vehicle to maneuver around. So I'm shocked.
Remember when I had you take it to
Sparta to sell a dirt bike or buy a dirt bike.
Buy a dirt
Your little
bike or
sister
something.
came
It
with
was
me.
to buy a dirt bike.
But yeah, those dualies, oof, they're not easy.
So he's like, should I have my dad drive? I'm like, yeah, dude, I would have your dad drive. So they show up. He gets out, and he still hasn't told me he doesn't have all the money yet. But he's like, well, I got this card, and he's showing it to me. And I look at it, and it
says release pay.
Release pay. I'm like, what the fuck, man? And he's like, there's 2,000 left on here. No, at the time there was 4,000 or 5,000.
Yeah.
He's like, I got 5,000 here, and then I got a cashier's check for the rest. And my head's like about to explode. I'm thinking, so I'm basically looking at just the cashier's check because I don't know what the hell this is.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I know everybody at the bank. Come on, hop in, go with me. Let's run to the bank real quick and see what's up with this card. The bank, they don't help none at all. They're like, yeah, you just got a debit
not their
card.
card,
Yeah.
so they don't know, yeah.
So I go to the ATM, and we're able to pull off like 2,000 or 3,000 in 20s right there.
Ugh.
But then it said, hit your limit. And then the guy's like, well, he looks at me. He's like, he's old hillbilly from Missouri. He's like, well, you trust me? I said, hell no, I don't trust you. I said, I don't even know your last name, dude. I said, I don't know your last name. You just got pulled over in front of my house 3 days ago. Yeah, you had a loaded gun with you. Like, what the hell? Is he about to take my shit or what? But he's like, no, you're right. You're right. I'm like, come on. So I guess I did trust him because I was like, give me the fucking
get,
card.
Like, the balance on the card, so
Yeah,
it would have been impossible for him to.
Yeah, we called,
left us
check
with
the balance, and the PIN number. He's like, what's your birth date? I was like, 84. He's like,
I hope you didn't tell me right now.
I did. He's like, what's your birth date? I was like, 84. He's like, 85. He's like, that's the PIN. I was like, all right. So as Lesa was saying, for the next few days when she needed to buy something, she's using a prison release card.
What's funny is I actually used it. I had to buy a bunch of stuff for something for us on my regular debit card, and our bank has like a max limit per day, which I normally don't go over unless I have a big purchase, but to avoid fraud, which is good. But so I had to go to the chiropractor that day with Ethan, and I had ordered something on my regular debit card, and I was like thinking, oh dang it, I'm gonna have to use we don't ever use credit cards. I'm gonna have to use like a credit card to pay because I don't have, it's not gonna go through, or I have to call the bank, and that release pay card is in there. I told the chiropractor, I was like, I have this jail card, and I explained her the story, but I'm thinking, I wonder if she believes me, or if she thinks that I'm just some woman that just got out of jail, and like this is how I'm paying for things because I'm a criminal.
I was talking to the guy, and I'm like, hold on, so you got caught with a gun and you're revoked and there were some other things involved, and I'm like, and you had all this money, what did the cops say about you coming? He was like, they thought it was fishy.
Oh no.
I was like, man, because it's surprising they didn't keep this cash. He got lucky that he had that much cash, and they didn't take it.
But it's like, you're like, I've worked so hard to rebuild my reputation, and you're just gonna take it down in one.
I did whip in. I saw the cop a couple days later sitting down here, Mr. King.
Oh, did you go in there and talk to him?
Yeah.
I didn't even tell me. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he sits down here, and I saw him go, and he's circling the block, and where our sign is there.
Yeah.
He goes that way, so I follow behind him. Then he turns back behind. I follow behind him. Then he goes over to the gas station, goes through. I go over there. I'm like right behind him, flashing my lights at him. Like, stop, dude. And he circles around the pumps, and I'm like, hey, you one of the cops that sit up here? But I recognized him right away. And he's like, yeah, he was really nice. Super cool cop. And I was like, just so you know, like, that really was a jet boat deal going down. I said, I did not know that guy. I was like, but I did sell him the jet boat. That was just a jet boat. But he was a super cool cop. He's like, oh, yeah, that's good. You got that?
That's funny.
I was like, I just didn't want you to think like
clear
something
the
else
air,
is going
yeah.
on.
Like that guy's a stranger off Facebook Marketplace, which in retrospect, you probably should have met him somewhere and not let him come to our home.
Dude, I'm too loving. I'll be like, hey, you need a place to stay tonight?
Yeah.
You just crash here on the couch or?
No. I don't think so. But yeah, we're maybe a little too trusting.
I'm too trusting.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So, moving on.
But dude has sent me awesome videos. He's happy with the jet boat.
Good.
Things are going good for him. He got his truck back.
Good.
He did, unfortunately, tell me that he got pulled over again
No.
after on his street.
No.
He said the same situation, only at his house, right in front of his house. He ended up getting pulled
Come
over.
on.
But this time he just got tickets. So
Good Lord.
I made sure to tell him. I said, Dan, whenever you got to pay all these fines for these driving out of license, I'll buy that jet boat off of you for $10K.
Yeah,
He was like, I bet you will.
Just let me know.
But you watch, here about 2 years, I'll be getting that message. Hey, you still want that jet boat for $10K? And I'll buy it back.
Mm-hmm.
So we sold the jet boat. It was loud, obnoxious, crazy, terrifying. It was fun, but I think it would be a lot more, as Lisa would say, it's not a word, funner. But I think it would be a lot more funner if...
More fun. You just don't need that second.
Funner?
You just need more. It's more fun.
More fun.
Yeah.
All right, so I think it would be more funner if if you had buddies that had them.
Right.
So our situation was we were the only person we knew with a jet boat.
Yeah. So we had our fun with it and moved on.
Yep. So let's talk a little business before we wrap up tonight. So we've had a lot of crazy stories, it seems like. So we're wanting to grow and expand. We're not wanting to, we are. We're growing and expanding in all aspects. We got this real estate stuff going on. We got Reckless Success. We got May Excavating. We need help.
Yeah.
So we can't do it all. So we're going to hire somebody or 2 or 3. And we're seeing that we need more office space. So we find a building in Heron that's perfect. It's for auction. It's right downtown. It's got 3 bays, office space, and it's for auction. A week out, I'm winning it at like $10,000. Like, all right, this is sweet.
And we go ahead and get an inspection done,
Yes.
so we know if it's even worth doing the auction. I had our buddies at Bain Roofing, who is a very reputable roofing company who we trust very much, go and check out the roofing issues.
We've
and
done
give
all
us
our due diligence.
A quote
We
on
didn't
that.
just
So yeah, we're like
bid on a random building without looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think, and I wasn't sure, we don't usually buy stuff on auction, so I didn't even know if that was possible, but I called and they said that they
Apparently it's not.
to have it inspected.
No, to buy shit on auction.
No, we'll get there. So what I was saying, I didn't know you could have it inspected and stuff. Like I thought it was
Right.
just like sight unseen, you bid
Right.
what you want, but they did let us in to do a full inspection and stuff, which was helpful, which is Parley Inspections. I need to start naming who we use because that's someone we trust a lot. Parley Inspections and Plumbing. He's also a plumber.
In Southern Illinois.
Has done several inspections for us, and he's like super thorough. And we used him originally on the home we live in now because our realtor was like, he is so thorough and will tell you every little nitty gritty detail that you probably don't even want to know because it'll scare you, you know. But he does, and that's what you're paying for. You want to know everything that could be wrong or that you're going to have to pay to fix. Things that aren't a problem yet but are concerning. Like he is very thorough and
checks at everything.
He's very smart.
Pipes. I mean,
and he's a plumber, so he knows all that really well. So that's Parley, Parli, inspections and plumbing. But so he came out and did the inspection. So we put like time and effort and money into this auction deal, hoping to get it at a fair price, knowing we'd have to put a lot into it to fix it up, to make it nice again.
It was at $10,000 a week out. I mean, the building needed $70,000
For sure.
We were going to put $70,000 into
sure.
it if we got it for $30,000.
Yeah.
So I was assuming it was at $10,000 a week out. We talked about it, and we agreed that $30,000 would be a good number. Of course, auction day of the auction, it starts jumping up. It jumped up over 30 pretty quick.
Yeah.
We talked about it again. We're like, okay, we'll go to 65 or something would be our max. We ended up winning it after hours of work. Like, this is every 2 minutes. It's renewing because max bids are getting changed and stuff. So we're having to fuck with this.
But it's also exciting. Like, I've done research on the property, talked to the city a little bit because it's an enterprise zone. Like, you're starting to make plans in your head.
Yeah, it
You're
gets
like,
into your pride too, because we had originally said 30, and once it was at 55, we should have said no. But now we're pissed off that this guy, whoever this ghost, and I think it's the fucking auction people. I think that we're bidding against the auction people, and they're gonna go until I think they got this algorithm figured out to where they can read your mind and know when you start slowing down.
Yeah.
It would get down to 2 seconds.
And the bid would come
at
through?
at like 40,000. So I'm doing the work on the computer. Lisa and I talked about the price. Mm-hmm. I was the one doing the bidding. And it would come down to like 3 seconds, and I'd be like, we got it at 40, and then all of a sudden it'd reset. I'm like, you son of a bitch. It gets up to 62,250. Now there's some buyer's remorse going because we've already had all this inspection done.
Yeah, we know.
We're thinking, well, we're going to have quite a bit into this thing. So it wasn't as exciting as it was at 30. But it's still exciting.
Still exciting. We're making moves.
So get down to the last second. Bam. Won it. 62,250. I'm like, all right. Won it. Talk to Lisa about it. We're like, all right, we got it. So the auction place calls me. This makes no sense to me at all. They call me and they're like, hey, so the seller, he was really hoping for 150. Could you do 150? And I said, I just won the auction at 62,250. What are you talking about? I said, it's got a hole in the roof that you can see daylight through.
$30,000 roof repair, plumbing repairs, electrical repairs. I mean, there's so much repairs.
I said, there's no way. I said, it's not worth 150 or even close. And she said, okay, well, if there's anything we can help you with, just let me know. And I said, hold on. Did I win or what? It said I won.
Right.
And she was like, no, it's at seller's discretion, and he wants 150.
Like, then don't start the bid at 0.
I just spent fucking 2 hours and
start the bid
$1,000.
Yeah, start the bid at 125.
Put a reserve on it for $150,000 fucking dollars if that's what you want to sell it for, or put it on the market and sell it that way. You send it to auction. That pissed me off. So now we're pissed off about that.
We're frustrated.
Alice auction. But what if they have a nice building next week and we win it and we want that one? Sorry, Alice.
So it's super frustrating, and not that we are into the auction world, so I just think it's shocking. Like, if you want X amount of dollars, and I've seen auctions like that, minimum bid,
it's called a reserve.
Minimum bid $50,000, because that's the minimum the seller will take. So, like, why would you start at $0?
Why did we just spend a week?
And so in time, and inspectors,
just like playing the lotto.
It is
just like playing lotto. When you play lotto and it's 350 million, well, that night you're sitting in bed thinking, I'm gonna fucking buy this and buy that. You've done fantasized about riding the jet ski across your fucking
we had renovated the whole place by now in our heads.
In our head we already had it mapped out. We spent hours thinking about it.
That was nuts to me. Like, why did he even put it to auction? Do you think he's gonna get more than 150?
If he had a tree, I'd go TP it.
Yeah,
I would.
You probably would. But yeah, so that was a frustrating learning thing, because it's just frustrating. But I think the lesson in that is, I was thinking about this. We obviously were frustrated, but where we are now in life versus where we were in the past, like, we didn't.
And this shit's changing weekly. So I mean, like, 3 weeks ago could be the past.
Oh, that's not what I meant.
Go ahead.
You can dwell, like, you don't want to dwell on that stuff. So we're not like, obviously we're upset. That's frustrating. That sucks. But immediately Jesse's like, I have a different idea for an office space. What about this? Or let's look at some other real estate in different towns. Let's see, like, we're both looking the other stuff up right away. And I think sometimes people like dwell in that negative and like, or turn to like alcohol and drugs and like try to numb, like, and they are angry all night
just
long,
or
all week they're angry and they're mad at the world and they're blowing everything off. Like, you can't do that, because guess what? That sucked, but okay, then what? You got to move on from it. Like, I'm worse at that. Jesse's good at like moving on quick, and I dwell on things more and like want to feel those negative feelings, but like, we both move on pretty quick with stuff like that, I think. Which is helpful. You gotta work to that, because it helps you grow in your business. So you're not just like stuck in this, I'm going to be angry for the next month about this problem. One
of our mentors, I call him mentors. I don't know if that's what you would call him. He's a friend that we think of as a mentor because we get a lot of knowledge from him. He told me one time, he was just talking, and he was talking about other people, but he was like, they come to me with problems. He's like, I don't want problems. I want the solutions. You know what I mean? I want them to come to me and say, hey, here's the problem and here's how we're going to fix it. He's like, instead, they just come to me with problems. It's
funny that someone told you that, because you try to use that line on me all the time, and it makes me want to punch you in the face. Because I'm like, no, but I've got problems that we got to find solutions together for, because I don't have one.
You just got to have solutions for the problem.
I didn't know someone told you that. I thought you like made that up. I know that's a good thing to say, but when you say
Yeah.
it to your wife when she's having a rough day,
No. So we're gonna find a new building or move on. We'll find a new building or come up with a new way because we need office space. That's why we were buying the building, because we're gonna expand.
yeah.
So instantly we're looking for new stuff in the Southern Illinois market. If you have anything for sale, buildings, commercial,
Or something that you want to sell that's not listed.
send it our way.
And we want to grow in the real estate world a little bit too.
Yeah.
So I think that's why like we've both been looking at different kinds of properties and just wanting to expand ourselves. And we've been working on stuff with our business that I don't want to get into yet because it's not completed, but that would help us with more commercial sided work. So like there's all these things on the horizon that I know is going to take our business to another level, and you know that for sure. And Jesse's super like forward thinking, like he's always looking in the future and ahead, and I get more overwhelmed and stressed out. So thank God he like keeps me even and keeps me focused on our goal. Because that's what you have to do. Like you have to like let all the craziness to the side and just like focus on where you're trying to go.
Right.
And you're good at that. And so it helps to keep me that way. So I think we both just know we're just to that point where it's like we are ready to make bigger moves.
Things are looking good. So, sorry about that cough. So, to finish up tonight, the last story we got to tell. I see on Facebook, the kids had prom. They had a fucking kegger out in the woods. Cops came. It was all good. No big deal.
Normal stuff like that happens
Normal
everywhere.
high school shit. Every town's got one of those little West Frankfort Connect or whatever town you're in, you know, little connect.
In our small area, in our small towns, they have these little Facebook groups called like Carterville Connected, Heron Connected, so people can. I think the point is to connect about things going on around town, but what it becomes,
All we
like,
do is bitch.
it becomes a place to complain about the most bizarre things, and people just have way too much time on their hands. It's the craziest sight ever.
So there they are bitching on Facebook.
About the kids having a party after prom, which like,
And that the parents bought the alcohol. So I just commented, like, I'm sure at 18 they have friends that are 21
Right.
that probably bought them the alcohol. We all partied out in the field. They got caught.
like we
What are
obviously
you
don't,
bitching
you don't
about?
want kids to be drinking, but like, you know, that's kind
Yeah,
of the
I mean, it's
progression
just-
of life. It's gonna happen. They're gonna have after prom parties.
they were trying to blame it on parents and shit, and that wasn't the case.
Kids are gonna do it.
So I just commented that kids are going to be kids, and I'm sure it was 21-year-old friends that bought it. And old Carol, or what was her name?
Something like that.
Some
Carolyn,
shit.
Charlotte, I don't even know.
Some Carolyn woman out of fucking nowhere, out of left field. This is our little town community right now. I'm like, Mr. Businessman, if you go down to the softball team, guess whose fucking name's on the back of this shirt?
Right.
It's mine. So here's Carolyn on the damn community page, and she says, in 7th grade, okay, I'm fucking 40 years old. In 7th grade, you stole money out of my daughter's purse at a church dance and her friends, and I called your mom, and your mom didn't do nothing about it, and you come from a family of do nothing.
Do nothing. Yeah.
Do nothing.
In caps lock. What?
I said, so the whole thing was over these kids having an after party drinking. You know, that's what everybody's bitching about anyways. So my response to Carolyn was, I needed money for that alcohol for the after party, Carolyn. Shit. Leave your bag open in front of Mr. Steal Your Bag. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take that shit when I was a kid.
But there was a girl that we went to school with that commented too. It was like, damn, Carolyn.
Yeah.
She's like, you've been thinking about yelling at Jesse May for 30 freaking years.
You've been holding
like,
that in for 30 years, girl. Like,
you've been
that's
rent
deep.
free in Carolyn's head since you were
Yeah.
12.
Like, I'm going to wake up and old Carolyn's going to be standing at the end of my bed wanting that $2 back. Like, damn.
For real. And the kicker is like, I don't think, although you did lots of bad things, you weren't ever a thief. So it probably wasn't even you.
I mean, if you left some money laying around back in my day, I mean, I was high.
Oh. That's
So, I
sad.
mean, I might have took their shit. But they might have been, more than likely what it was I was charging $2 a kiss. And
No, it was probably like they knew you'd be able to find the alcohol. There probably was an
Right.
after party. It's like, Jesse, give Jesse the money for the weed or the alcohol. That's probably what really happened.
That was going to be my response was, no, your daughter just gave me money for alcohol.
Right.
And we told you that I took it. But I don't remember doing it. I don't even remember her daughter.
Or going to a church dance. Like, when would you have gone to a church dance?
If I did, it was like junior high. And I mean, shit, I was a kid.
Right. It was bizarre. So this lady has been waiting to see Jesse.
It literally would have been like
adult.
$2. We're talking the 90s. The girls at the dance were wearing 2X Mickey Mouse shirts. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't have they don't look like girls today. Like, these girls
Right.
look like, oh, fucking hair in a ponytail
Right.
type shit. Yeah.
Oh, our little town. But that just goes to show you the past does come back to haunt you.
Yeah, 30 years later, oh, Carolyn.
People be looking for you.
I'm going to send... Listen, it's like My Name is Earl. Have you ever seen that TV show?
You tried to make me watch it a few times, but I didn't get into it.
My dad loves it, and it got me hooked on it. So it's called My Name is Earl, and it's this dude that's just fucks up all throughout life.
That's right.
And he's got a list. He makes
He's trying
a
to
list.
right his wrongs.
Yeah, he's trying to right his wrongs. So he like has like a 400 page list of
People that he
wrongs, and
yeah.
he like tries to right them. So I guess I'm gonna have to do that because like I've had people, now that I'm different now, which I was just like a troubled little kid.
Right. Like lots
But
of kids.
it made me a bully because I was troubled. So then as an adult, do you remember I had that one girl message me that one time? That was heartbreaking.
That was.
And said I bullied her whenever I was a kid. Like, how do I fix that? God, I feel bad. I
think
still
you-
think about that all the
I think
time.
you apologized to her, but there's not much else you can
But
do.
you can't.
I think it's sad too, because we're both, especially me, but we're both like so anti-bully, and like I would literally come close to smacking a kid in the mouth if I watched him bully somebody. Like I would go to jail for that because I can't take a bully.
It's
And
typically the bullies got emotional shit
they
going
have
on.
problems. So it's also
Right.
sad. Like I always tell our kids or our older son that I'm like, you know, if people are messing with you or they're jerks, not that that's okay, and like tell us, and like we'll stand up for you and figure out how to address that. But like I want you to keep in mind that I bet those kids have issues at home with their parents. They got stuff going on that you would never understand because you have a good life. Like, and not that that justifies it, but I think it's good to try to understand people.
Right.
Even though, again, it's not justifying it, and these little bullies better shape up quick because I'm not putting up with that crap. But like, I want our kids to try to recognize that like sometimes people give out hurt because they are hurt inside, and like that's sad. Like, yeah, but it's still like, how do you take that back? Like, if you were bullying people, I know that that probably haunts you now because you're such a kind-hearted person and you care for people a lot, and like would never like try to put people down. I mean, you're buddies, but you guys all just talk crap. But like,
I hang
not
out
like,
with everybody and love everybody.
Yeah.
I don't judge anybody. Like
Right.
I'll literally, Lisa will pull up. I'll be hanging out with the homeless guy on the side of the gas station. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Shit, this dude has been
But I think
traveling."
we're both like that. Like
Yeah.
we're always trying to make people feel better. Like I intentionally try to be nice and be friend, and you know, to anybody I come across. Like I don't care what your walk of life is. Like I want people to interact with me and feel good about themselves. I think we're both like that.
Right.
And so that's a good trait that we both have. But you used to be mean.
I was mean to a girl named Alicia. Alicia, if you hear this, I'm sorry. I do feel bad about that one. Yeah, she sent me a message on Facebook after I got home from prison. She's like talking about how I used to bully her in school, and I'm like, "Oh, girl, I am sorry about
That's really
that."
sad. I'm glad she like confronted you about it.
Right. She
Maybe
probably
that gave her
needed to
some
get that off her
peace.
chest.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. All right. Well, I think we had a good night. So have a great week. Don't dwell on the negatives. Keep growing. Do what you can. We've had an exciting week. We've got another exciting week ahead of us. So we'll let you know next week what kind of crazy shit we get into. I'm sure we'll have an office building within a couple weeks because we are hiring a guy that we need to put in an office starting next week. So not that we're rushing to find something, but we'll find something. Now my marketplace algorithm's just going to be buildings. It goes from boats to trucks to jet skis.
Equipment,
Equipment to
hard.
office buildings. So, all right. See us next week. Reckless Success. Thanks, baby.
Thanks.
All right, guys. We're going to wrap up. You can follow us on TikTok and YouTube at reckless.success. Instagram at recklesssuccess. We're on Spotify and all major podcast services. Hit that subscribe button, please. For more information on May Excavating, check out our website or TikTok. That's a wrap. Thanks.